What it do, good people? Follow Storms here. I'm back with another Stormcast. It's episode 3. Oh my gosh. Look how far I've made it. How exciting. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, welcome. It's nice to have you here. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. I appreciate it, honestly. And for those of you who are coming back just because you kind of like to hear my voice, I also really appreciate that because honestly, I'm enjoying keeping podcasts as a podcast. Let's go back to those days, right? Where we don't always have to stare at each other's faces. Like, it's fine. I want to just talk to you. So please just listen, all right? Let's talk a little bit. Also, if you want to hit me up, if you want me to talk about certain things on the podcast, you can always hit me up. I'm on Instagram at FoluStorms. I'm on TikTok actually at FoluStorms as well. And I'm always happy to address any questions or comments that you have. But be nice to me, please. Thank you so much. Please be nice when you send in those questions. And who knows, I might actually do an episode where it's just me addressing any questions or comments that you have. So there you go. There you go. Anyways, for today, I have something I want to talk about, and it has to do with our culture, how we build culture, how we develop culture, how we navigate it, the chaos that comes with that, and the collective responsibility that we all have in shaping the culture that we are currently experiencing and that future generations will experience. And I say this because there's a lot of stuff that's hidden under the guise of, oh, it's our culture, or that's not our culture, you know, especially as a Nigerian woman, especially as a Black woman, especially as an African woman. There are a lot of sins that are hidden under culture. And there are a lot of things that have become culture that we are not aware of. I believe that sometimes when we talk about culture, we talk about it as this ephemeral, hanging in the air, non-tangible concept. Culture is something that you and I make, and it continues to be made, and it continues to be reworked and rewired and relived in multiple different ways. So I want to talk a little bit about how we are currently shaping culture and how, as much as there's a lot of positives, there's also a lot of nonsense because we're badly behaved. All right, let's get into it. So what exactly is culture, right? What would you say is culture? So there are various elements of culture. Culture is this very complex and multifaceted concept. It includes shared beliefs and values. It includes behaviors and practices. Language and communication is an aspect of culture. There are material objects and artifacts that are aspects of culture. There is what is learned and what is transmitted. And culture is continuously dynamic and evolving, all right? Even social institutions, whether it's family, education, religion, government, all those things play a part in shaping and transmitting culture. And I bring that up because I want us to think about the sort of culture that we have in Lagos, Nigeria, which is where I am at the moment. In Nigeria, as Black people and globally, there is this rise of hyper-individualism. Look at that. The devil is trying to block my throat, but never. I know Shaitan is out and about, and he's still Lent. So the devil is trying, but I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk this talk. I believe that there is an increasing rise in individualism, and not just, oh, it's good to make sure you're cared for, and not in the sense that, how do I explain this? It is important to make sure that you are not pouring from an empty cup. It is important to make sure you are taking care of yourself. Looking out for yourself as an individual is important. You are the one who knows yourself best, and you are the most responsible for your own well-being. So that is important. What I'm talking about now, when I talk about the rise of hyper-individualism, is this concept of me, myself, and I. It is the idea that my own needs therefore supersede everybody else's, and to hell with everybody else. That is to say, I will stand on your head to get to freedom if I must. To hell with you, in the words of Lai Wasabi. To hell with you, you know? And that is concerning. And where I see that a lot, I see it in a lack of morals. I see it in the raising of money to God levels and God standards. And I'm going to give you a simple example. I'm recording this on the 3rd of April. And on the 2nd of April, we had one of the worst gridlock situations Lagos has ever experienced, due fundamentally to the closing of one major linkway. And then a bit of rain fell. There was also an accident somewhere, and things sort of spiraled out of control. Some people were stuck in traffic for 10 hours. And this is over a distance that typically should take 8 minutes to cover. 10 if we're being extra. On a day of regular traffic, maybe an hour. I know people who are stuck for 10 hours in that traffic. That is a grueling and punishing amount of time to be spent on the road in traffic when you're trying to get home after work. And primarily the reason that this happened, beyond the delays that were inevitable from the closure of one major link road, that's not even that big. It's just a strong artery, right? The biggest reason why people experienced a 10-hour trip as opposed to, on a bad day, a 3-hour trip is selfishness. It was from the multitude of individuals who ran traffic lights, who did not bother to stop for cars needing to cross intersections, from the people who started driving one way with the justification being, oh, well, everywhere is blocked, so I need to go around. Bruh. Ma'am, sir, excuse me. Why is your own I need to go more important than everybody else's I need to go? Why is your own I need to go more important than everybody else I need to go? Are you going to hospital? Is there an emergency situation in your car? Is somebody dying? Are you on the verge of death and bodily destruction and harm? Is that what's happening? A mother sucking isn't. That's not what's happening. So you calm the fuck down. Calm down. It is, listen, I'm getting heated thinking about it. It is the wickedest thing you can do to another person, especially in a city like Lagos, especially on the island that technically is not built to deal with such high density population. Lagos, Victoria Island, and Ikoyi were designed structurally as low density areas. So first of all, Lagos State government, you're going to take blame. You're just going to hold that blame to your chest. I know our able governor, he came out to say, so sorry. Yeah, but first, just hold that blame. Hold that blame to your chest. Because if we were better able to police our civil servants, and if you're a civil servant, they draw your ear. Draw your ear, because it's you I'm talking to. People who are continuously collecting money from people who are violating zoning laws and building laws. Why have we moved the business district of Lagos from Lagos Island to VI and now Ikoyi? Why are we looking at Onozumba and Badiwe, a skyscraping buildings for a tiny ass road? So you're now saying that you now have hundreds of people that are coming to work on that road. So think of the traffic situation you have created for islands, that is Ikoyi and Victoria Island, that have essentially one way in, one way out. What are we talking about? And then, of course, we close off one of those ways in and out. What did you think was going to happen? Duh. And all of this is for money. All of this is for money because everybody wants to chop. It's not a big deal. It's not. When you allow people to build higher story buildings than they should in certain areas because you want to make more money, guess what you're doing? You're allowing for denser population. You're allowing for population numbers to go up in particular areas, and it is causing chaos. It is causing fudging chaos. Oh my God. That is the culture that we have built. That is the culture we continue to build from all of you who are driving one way. Everybody who feels they are justified. If I don't, all of you are responsible. Think about the number of lives that would have been lost in the traffic yesterday. The prayer be say, make nobody be inside emergency situation when traffic in Lagos hook you. Because it'll hold you by the throat. And that is terrifying to think of. Even when there's no traffic, come on, clear for ambulance, problem. Well, the ambulance, there's probably nothing in the ambulance. Who gives a shit? Move. It's an emergency vehicle. Even if they are carrying tomato in the back, it's still emergency for them to get the emergency vehicle back to the hospital that doesn't know that the ambulance driver is using it to carry tomato. Move. Clear road. Clear road. Maybe after they drop the tomato, they are going to go and help your relative. Clear road. This me, and my own. We know how to say sorry, but do we know how to avoid the problem in the first place? It's ridiculous. This rise of hyper-individualism is showing in everything and everywhere. It's a me, myself, and I culture, and it is ruining life for everybody. When we look at cost of living crisis, it's not just happening in Nigeria. It's crazy in Nigeria, and Naira begins to feel more and more worthless. I mean, I had to renew a website domain thing recently, and in 2013, I believe when I first purchased that domain, it cost me 1,500 Naira in 2013. Then after my renewal a couple years later, I think it had gone to 2,000 something. Then after that renewal, it had gone to about 4,005. Then after that renewal, ladies and gentlemen, long story short, I had to do a renewal today, and just guess how much that domain renewal cost me. 56,000 Naira. I clutched my chest. I said, there's got to be a mistake. This can't be right. The last time I did this renewal, I think it was 20 something K. What's going on? What's going on? Man, let me not even get into that. But honestly, the Lagos gridlock is just a microcosm of cultural breakdown. All right? That gridlock that was caused by the Independence Bridge closure is such a great example of how chaotic scenes can quickly unfold when we do not think about others, when we're not empathetic towards others. Because again, the minister who instructed for the bridge to be closed, and again, to be fair to them, because I go down that route quite often, I didn't even know it was called Independence Bridge. One, I was aware they had put out an announcement to say, oh, Independence Bridge, but a lot of people in Lagos don't even know what bridge is called what, and that announcement wasn't as widespread as it could have been. Because see, when you are doing a election campaign, nobody can breathe. We see posts everywhere, information everywhere, every two Eke market days, every day, per second. Information is flooding our timeline, is bills, posters. But when you're doing key infrastructural work, we don't get as much notification as a public. So there was some notification. Two, there had been work going on that bridge for quite a bit of time, and small bits and pieces. I know that even the week before and the week before that, they'd already started, narrowing down sections of that bridge so they could work on it. I know that was happening. But you see, there's a level of empathy that needs to be applied, especially by our politicians who sit in Abuja and who are busy signing papers, sharing money. That's how it feels like to the rest of us. You're not trying to get political, but I'm just saying, it feels like you're not doing much but sharing papers. And so you just callously announce things. And then you callously came back to say, oh, well, I'm ordering an immediate opening of the bridge. Half of the bridge has been excavated, sir. A good portion of that bridge, it do have gully. You know what they say, gully? It have hole. There's a big chunked out, cut out hole in the middle of it. So what are you talking about? Let's get over this thing of just issuing random proclamations because it looks nice for the press, but it's not realistic. It's not practical. There's so much avoidable suffering that's caused by individuals. So much. From the ministers who are issuing edicts and commands from up high, who don't live our lives, who are insulated from it for a lot, to those who are running traffic lights, those who are disregarding basic traffic rules, and you're driving one way. It's terrible behavior. And there's a huge ripple effect of lawlessness that affects everybody. All right, from governments to officials to private citizens, it breaks down. And I'm going to go back to this culture of money as God. He's bad, oh. He's bad everywhere. It's so terrible. I have noticed that on social media and in real life, what I'm observing is for you to have a quote unquote valid opinion of anything, people want to know, but how many followers that person even have? But like, how much money does that person even have? But like, what are you even carrying? Like, what are you even wearing? Like, what are you even saying? Like, have you even flown first class? Like, my father could buy you. I could do that. I'm like, wow. That's the measure of intelligence. That's the measure of a good human being. That's the measure of self-worth. That's how you're measuring yourself. It's no wonder mental health issues are at an all-time high. It's no wonder because we've all quantified self-worth and value in pounds and dollars and naira. It's scary. It's scary outside, guys. It's scary. Don't do that. You're a human being, and that means that you are this gorgeous spiritual being having a physical existence and experience, and you cannot make it all about money. This small measure of value and exchange. Money is just a tool. It should be just a tool, but it's like the tool is using us. We've elevated material wealth above all else. We've prioritized that so much so that even parents Children will come and they'll buy their parents big expensive things. And all you hear is, hey, my son, my daughter. Ma'am, did you ask where your child got that money from? You say, Mama Emeka, do you know what Emeka is doing for work? You say? Emeka will just say he's a businessman. He's hustling. Tunde will just say, I'm doing business. I'm just doing business. This mindset is eroding our quality of life. It's continuing to fuel inequality and it's damaging social values. So much so that we're out here putting out memes about Gen Z and Gen Alpha and how, they only want this, they only respect this. Well, who showed them the way? Stop talking about young people as though they fell from the sky and that they're aliens. We created the monsters. And they're not even monsters. They're just a product of our reality. Like, it's that simple. It's that simple. If somebody has grown up seeing certain things prioritized and valued, they're either going to rebel against it or they're going to accept it as the norm. There you go. And that rebellion, however you see it, you're going to take it. You go collect. You go collect now. Because at the end of the day, one senior man who is parking your car outside or who is staff somewhere, or let's just even say, a store owner, will look at somebody who's dressed averagely and dismiss them. But if one small boy or small girl come and spend small money, all of a sudden, ma, sir, let me do everybody's body is shaking. Everybody's body is shaking. Why? It's money. And don't look left or look right. Look in the mirror. Look at yourselves. Because subconsciously, a lot of us are responding that way. And it is scary. It is scary. I don't do it. At least I don't think I do. But there are tropes of power that exist in our brain. And we respond accordingly when we think somebody's powerful to a certain extent. It's bad behavior. Don't do that. Don't do that. So this is like a call to collective responsibility. We all have a responsibility to do better and to act better. We have to act with empathy. We have to act with compassion. We have to start shifting our mindsets towards a more community-oriented mindset. If just you alone is winning, you're not really winning. Like, everybody has to win together. You have money alone, that's nothing. You have to uplift people. In fact, I was watching something and Vic Mensa, I think it's Vic Mensa, like he's been really fascinating for me on my timeline with storytelling and whatnot. And Vic Mensa said something very interesting, was talking about an interesting thing that's been circulating in the Black community. And Vic Mensa said, for those of you who don't know, Vic Mensa is, he's a Chicago rapper, but also of Ghanaian descent or Ghanaian origin. So he's a Ghanaian American, a proper African American, as I like to call it. I'm not just culturally Black American, even though he has a lot of Black American culture in him as well, but he's also African. And he said, someone referred to Black excellence as a scam. And I found that interesting because the way he explained it, when the person was talking about Black excellence, people said, we like to cherry pick and say, we have more Black millionaires than ever before. Therefore, it's like, yeah, we're making it, we made it. But are you really making it if everybody else is down in the dumps or down in the gutter? You can't take isolated incidences of one or two people making it out and be like, oh yeah, therefore everything is great. And I say apply that across the board. Apply that across the board. Right now, Africa is having a moment. We're in the Make Africa Cool Again era. Shout out to Nisi. I think she has that Make Africa Cool Again thing. And it's kind of cool to be African now-ish. It didn't used to be when I was younger, when I was growing up. I mean, I've always felt cool. But the global world didn't necessarily see me as that. And that's kind of been a life mission of mine, not just to seem cool to other people, but to make sure that we recognize the value inherent in ourselves and who we are and our culture and how we can continue to shape that culture. That's why we're in media, because that's important, right? But just because Africa is having a moment doesn't mean that everything is all copacetic and great. We have to work to actually put money in the pockets of our people. We have to work to actually create a better standard of living for everybody. We have to, when we're making deals, when we're doing business, not just look out for just ourselves, but we should be looking out for the collective as well. And I know, I get it. Guys, it should not be my responsibility, but it is, though. I know we don't like to hear that. It's not, you don't have to, necessarily die on the line. I mean, if you want to be a martyr, that's on you, go ahead. But we really need to learn how to become, or to go back to our roots of Ubuntu, because I am because you are. there's nothing that you're doing that's by yourself. You don't exist in this world by yourself. You have not succeeded by yourself. Anything that you've ever done in life, people are connected to it. You are one tiny thread in this beautiful tapestry of existence, especially as an African, especially as a Black person in this world. We are connected by so many amazing threads, and you've got to make sure the threads are woven together properly. You have to make sure those threads are strong. You need to back up the threads if you need to. You need to do that so that you can actually see the beauty of the tapestry. Because you alone as a single thread, like, you're lost in the sauce. Nobody really sends that. But if we pull back and we look at the bigger picture, if there are broken threads, you have to figure out how to mend that. We absolutely have to. There is a collective responsibility. Individual actions have a ripple effect on society, and we can all contribute to positive change. I promise you that we can. And I think that to foster that culture of empathy, that accountability, to share well-being, we need to spend more time practicing it. When we want to get caught up in road rage, when we want to do the thing that we know is wrong, and we know when these things are wrong, please just take a moment and be like, do you know what? How would this affect my loved one? If somebody did this to me, how would I really feel? How would I truly feel? It sounds like a small thing, but it's a big thing, guys. And it, at the end of the day, it's little drops of water that make the mighty ocean. So let's do our part. Let's do our part and just be more responsible individuals. And that's it. That's all I have to say for today's Stormcast. Short and sweet and to the point. And I know that there will be more. And I will speak for longer in some, but I'm trying to keep these in the 20-minute mark. I mean, last week was a little bit longer, but let's keep it 20 minutes and more. Like, the summary of this entire episode is, don't be a dickhead. Okay? Did you hear me though? Don't be a dickhead. That's the summary of the episode. Take that to the bank. Say that's what Folustom said. Folustom just came in episode 3. She said, don't be a dick. Like, yeah. So that's it. Navigating culture, chaos, and collective responsibility. It's not just me, myself, and I. That's a delusion. Let go of that. Let go. And on that note, guys, if you're listening on Spotify, please make sure you hit the download button, follow. If you're up on YouTube, please do subscribe, because then it'll alert you every time I put up a new episode. If you're over on Apple as well, because I'm up there as well, please, of course, download, like, rate, share it with your friends if you like what I had to say. Even if you don't comment, I would love your comments. Don't forget, I exist on social media, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter. Everything is at Folustorms. I'm even on Snapchat. If you're my friend, maybe I'll accept you. Who knows? But I would love to hear from you. I really, really would love your feedback on this. And if there's anything in particular you want to hear about from me, let me know. But that's it for the Stormcast. Again, I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't let you know that I have a big film coming out. It's called Red Circle. It's going to be on the 6th of June. And I need you guys to go check that ish out, because it's going to be lit, and we will be releasing in cinemas across the world. So 6th of June in Nigeria and on the African continent, it will come out. And then I will give you the dates. I might even be popping up in different places too. So it'll be nice to see you guys. Come say hi. Come say what's up. I will be updating things on my website as well. It's folustorms.com. And let's see what else I need to let you know. Oh, you need to go online and check out Baby Farm. It's been getting fantastic reviews because it's such an important story about essentially baby trafficking and baby factories that exist, not just in Nigeria. It's also a problem in Southeast Asia and on the Asian continent. So you should check that out. And I know there's something else. Oh yes, African Magic Viewer Choice Awards are coming up. I have a short film that I co-produced with Nora Awolowo. And you should go vote for us. Go vote for our film. The name of the film is What Are You Truly Afraid Of? You should also go check out, because I have 2 other productions. There's like 3 of my productions that I was in and that I was the lead in. That's also coming up. Bukasi is up there as well, so please vote for Bukasi. And of course, we also have in the In Bloom anthology Afefe, where I play the lead Simi, and that's also really powerful and such an important story. So guys, split your votes. You have like 100 votes. Go online. It's African Magic Viewer Choice Awards. It's AMVCAs/vote. So please go check that out and do vote. That's it. I'll be back again next week. Thank you guys for listening. I love you. Bye bye.